Hey guys, it's Bear with the Gimme Camper. I'm coming today from the indoor studio at the house because I don't have a camper right now. We'll get into all that in a minute, but this is like a special channel update, a news update for you. Maybe I should say like we interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcasting, but anyway, so I'm having some issues, Number one, all my reservations are canceled right now anyway. So it's not a huge deal to happen right now. I did want to throw out about all the coronavirus and the COVID and all that stuff. I do say that you do need to do social distancing, and that's fine, and that's going to help keep this virus at bay. Yeah, there's no need to get all worked up about it as long as you do what the CDC asks you to do and stay away from people. Now, do I personally think that that means that you can't go camping? No, I don't, because most of the time when we go, unless I'm actively trying to do other things, you're in your camper, you're in your space. Most state parks and things, you're 15 feet away from the other camper. And I say that that's not a big deal. If you want to do something, close the common areas, close the bathrooms, close that kind of stuff. But I don't see anything wrong with camping during this. And I don't see any additional threat that that's going to put your family at. That being said, a lot of places are closing down. It's really hard to find anywhere to go right now. And so unless you got some boondocking areas close by, you're probably going to be stuck at the house like this. Now, truthfully, that's not what got me stuck here. That's part 2 of the channel update here. I had some problems when I came back from Huntsville last week. So everything was fine. Pulled all the way home. It's about 2.5 hour drive. And then when I parked the camper, I found this. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see, oh, there's something sticking out beside the tire that doesn't need to be there. That, my friends, is some wiring loom. So apparently I have a suspension failure because on my Cougar, there's some wiring that goes just above the tires. That seems like horrible placement, if you ask me, but that's where it is there's some wiring that goes through there. And on the front tire, it did chafe off this wiring loom, but on the back tire, I'll show you here, there's like zero clearance there. And this is parked on the parking pad where I parked the camper. And so the equalizer there is rotated back a little bit. So I think that whenever it's level, it's got a little bit more room, but it was enough to chafe a couple of the wires on there. Because of this and the decreased space there, I had it towed to a dealership so they could do some warranty work, hopefully, and get that thing fixed for me. I'll say that I looked at it myself. I don't see any broken shackles. I don't see the equalizer having any problems. I don't see a bent axle or anything like that. And so my thought is that it's probably a broken spring that I can't see, with it still on the camper. But the other side's got probably 5 inches of clearance. And so there's obviously something going on there with that suspension. So hopefully they'll take care of that at the dealership. Now, you guys know I try to fix most of the stuff because I don't want to take it to a dealership and be without it for a few weeks. I've had a problem just breaking down and doing it. And so I've had a list of things that I've been working on slowly to fix myself. But since we had to take it to the dealership anyway, I gave them the list. Hopefully everything will be taken care of. Now, the problem that I'm having is, number one, I did buy my camper in Michigan at a great place. I had great customer service there. It's called Lakeshore RV. It's in Muskegon, Michigan. I highly recommend you check them out. Steve up there did a good job with me. But on the back end, I'd asked them before I bought it, what happens if you have any issues? And they said, well, you can take it to any dealer that works on Cougar products. Well, there's one dealer here in pretty close to the house that said that they don't work on Cougar half-ton models. which it is on their website that they do on Keystone's website, so I'm not sure about that. Another dealership that I'd talked to in the past, they said that they weren't equipped to handle other campers that weren't bought there. I'm sure that that's in violation of their contract with Keystone, and I probably could have forced the issue and had them work on it, but who knows how long I would have had it gone. Now, the guy did tell me that in the nicest way possible. Basically, you know, if you're just passing through and you can't get on the road until something's fixed, we could probably help you, but we're just not equipped for that, which again, I think is in violation of their contract. But because of all this, and it being the closest place to here, I did have it towed to Camping World. Now, I will admit I'm pretty apprehensive about that. So far, everything's went well. They've treated me nice. Didn't give me any problems about not buying the camper there. And I had it towed down, like I say, because I was very concerned that something was going to happen, you know, with the springs or something on the way down there. And the wrecker was actually able to tow it a little bit nose down from where my truck would tow it. And I think that helped give it a little bit of clearance. Now, I already figured when I took it in that it was going to be a while before I had it back. They did ask me when I needed it back. I told them that my next reservations were first weekend in April, and they said that they'd see what they could do. Now that brings us to our next problem, and the next problem was apparently Keystone shut down. So because Keystone shut down, I think they have to prior authorize the work on the suspension, and so they said my two options were to wait until Keystone opens back up or to go ahead and pay for it out of pocket. And then I would hopefully be reimbursed for that, but they can't make me guarantee of that. They didn't say that, but obviously you're taking a risk if you're going to go ahead and pay for it. Now, if they're not going to cover it, I guess they're not going to cover it, and there's not a whole lot you can do, but I'd rather know that on the front end than on the back end, you know. So everything seems to be going okay so far. They're supposed to give me a call and let me know an estimate on what it is to get this stuff fixed. And by then, hopefully, I'll know which way I want to do this. If I want to go ahead and front the money, if I want to wait a couple weeks. Obviously, nothing's going too far with all this virus outbreak and stuff. And so I don't really have anywhere to go right now. It would be great if Keystone could go ahead and approve that. That way they could be working on it during this time. And hopefully I can form a relationship with the Camping World here and relay to you guys that my experience there was good. You know, I try to see the best in people, and hopefully, you know, I can relay that to you after the fact. The last thing that I wanted to tell you guys was, you know, everyone that I've talked to, their watch time's been down lately. We are so close to our monetization goals, and we're almost there. We should make it by the end of the month. It was going to be probably this week, and then we've had decrease in watch hours. And like I say, everybody's reporting that they're having a decrease in watch hours. And, you know, I understand some of that. Part of me thinks that if people are at home more and they're wishing they could get out, you would think that they would be watching more videos. But in essence, I think a lot of people are stuck watching the news and watching the threat here. And you have to be really careful with that stuff too, because yes, this is a very dangerous virus, and especially so if you're a certain population of people and have other comorbidities and are older, that kind of thing. But, you know, for us younger people, we have to be careful to not contract it. Most of the time it is going to give you flu-like symptoms and be mild and go away for like 80% of people. But it's not us we have to worry about. It's you getting sick and then going to visit your grandma or your grandpa or your mom and dad. The older people are, the more horrible this is for you. You know, the mortality rate right now for people over 80 that I've read is about 15%. And so That's a pretty high percentage. And so you don't want to expose people for this. That's why the CDC is telling you to stay home. So that's what we're doing. And like I say, I do think that camping would be okay, but I don't have the option there. And hopefully, we'll get this cut down and we'll get it kicked out of here and we can get back to our daily routines without having the inconveniences. But I just want you guys to know that the inconvenience is worth it, and to do what they're asking you to do and not get in those big areas, because you're exposing your elders at a very high risk every time you come into contact with them. So I hope you guys keep watching the channel. Hope you stay tuned. Don't forget to check out other YouTube videos and see what you want to do whenever you get back out there. Check out places that you want to go to as well while you're stuck inside. So I have a whole slew of campground reviews in the East Tennessee, North Georgia area. Some of them a little bit farther away, but most of them are there. And I suggest to check some of those out and just kind of be on the lookout, make you a list of things to do. I have plans through the end of July right now with a couple of trips planned later. And so just come up with a plan. Use this time, kind of, reconnect with your families, get some spring cleaning done, that kind of stuff. But stay at home, stay away from everybody else, and help us get through this.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.